Therefore, man, he likes that therefore, doesn't he? Therefore, because of all of that, therefore, since we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Yeshua the Son of Elohim, let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who was tried in all respects as we are, apart from sin. Therefore, let us come boldly to the throne of favor in order to receive compassion and find favor for timely help. So again, he makes this long case, he adds more information, and then he brings it right back to the point. The point is to keep building the case of high priest. And how this high priest can not only be a non-Levite, he hasn't gotten there yet, but he will, but how can this high priest be somebody who died and then was resurrected? And what's this all about? That's never happened before with a high priest. The Levitical Kohanim high priest, the Aaronic high priest, died, they died. So what's going on here? And by the way, they probably also had problems from time to time with high priests that were sympathetic. Fleshly people have a hard time being sympathetic. He's saying, our high priest, and by the way, it's a great high priest. We have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens. He says, but we don't have a high priest that's unable to sympathize because he has been through what we have. That is why he put on the flesh suit, so that he can understand and empathize and sympathize with what it's like to be us. Watching doesn't do it. You know, there's a phrase we use in the flesh called walking a mile in somebody's shoes. Now, you can watch them walk. You can hear them tell you about their walk, but you can't really empathize and sympathize until you've walked in those shoes. You don't really know what it's like to be a mom until you have a child, or be a dad until you have a child. But you can watch other parents, and you think you understand it, but you don't. You can't. You have to live it. You can think you understand marriage, not until you've been married. Whatever it is, you can't really understand it until you have experienced it. Because no textbook, no information can truly express the realities of walking it. So even though the Elohim of the universe knows the end from the beginning, our Father knows the end from the beginning, the Son was there at the beginning of the foundation, knew what was going to happen, knew he would have to give himself so that we could have life. This is why when he turned to the Father right before his death and he said, if it's possible for this cup to be taken, I'd be okay with that, because now he's feeling things in a different way. Not panicking, not afraid, just recognizing this is going to hurt a lot. And that's why at one point he goes, why have you forsaken me? The concept of being separated from his heavenly Father could not fully be understood until he experienced it. It was a thought, and he is the greatest mind in the universe, so he had as much of a thought about it as he could possibly have. But still, the experience cannot be understood just intellectually. So it wasn't that he was forsaken. He did not know what that feeling would feel like. What does pain feel like to a being that has no pain? What does time and aging feel like to someone outside of time? What does disconnect from the Father feel like to someone who has never had disconnect from the Father? And so he's trying to say here, look, we have a great high priest. Because this high priest hasn't just maybe sat in his wealth up in the ivory towers of the temple in Jerusalem in the days of what's going on here, separated from the people and not really understanding the hardships of the people, being spoiled by the connection to Rome and all of the other political stuff that the high priest had been doing for a few generations. Oh no, this high priest knows what it's like to be you. He lived a life like you. He walked among fishermen and publicans, etc., farmers and shepherds. He was a carpenter. He did hard physical labor and built things. He's been tested as you, yet apart from sin. But so you understand, he has been tested. He knows what those thoughts are like. He knows what those things are like.